Hello friends, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to our solo self-found adventure. I'm on Oreo McFury. I'm going to be progressing in the end game, or progressing to the end game. I have reached Act 9, I've been farming blood aqueducts, only managed to get one humility, and yeah, I farmed there for a little bit, so I'm probably just going to move on. As you can see, last time our luck was very good and we got a unique strongbox that dropped some relatively high tier maps, considering we only have tier 1 maps outside of these. So pretty lucky there. Pretty happy with that. We are decently enough geared. We have maxed out resistances. We'll be pretty close to max once we beat Act 10 still, so yeah. Gonna go from there, and I'm going to try to gear up. So basically the goal will be to get to the end of Act 10 and then to do a little bit of gearing. So I'm gonna clean up my inventory here. I could have done that off screen, but you know, or off stream. Get nice and warmed up, comfortable, relaxed, and settle in. So yeah, now we have some unique maps to do once we get a decently higher level. Let's go ahead and start progressing. We upgraded one of our weapons last time. We got ourselves a Corsair sword. That is okay. It's not great. And we still have a pretty old weapon. So still on Cyclone. Once I hit at least a 5 link, I will upgrade, or I'll change to Frost Blades. But I want to make sure that I've reached that level first. Because I'm probably going to run Ancestral Call for the clear, and I really don't want to have to do that on a 4 link. The damage is just going to be too low. So we're just going to go ahead and ignore that for now. And for our 4 link, we'll do Cyclone, because we can actually run 3 damage links, which is nice. Yeah, even with our more damage Ascendancy, it's going to be pretty low damage. So, and I'll probably get that Ascendancy next. We'll see. We shall see how our survivability feels by the end point. I'll probably spend the next little while getting more life. So that will be the goal, I guess. I don't even think I've progressed up to the Scion Life Wheel yet in this build. No, I haven't. So I'll probably start moving towards the Scion Life Wheel, so we'll have a nice huge reserve of life to get as we hit the end game. Our life is maybe a little bit lacking at the moment, but we haven't run into too many issues with survivability just yet, and hopefully that will continue to be the case. But yeah, as you can see, our damage isn't too bad. It's not great, but it could definitely be a lot worse than it is right now. Stream up and running good? Good deal. Awesome. Awesome. Excuse me. Still feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I may be a little bit soft-spoken, but I'll try my best to keep my energy levels up as high as I can at least. Or as high as they usually are, which isn't particularly high necessarily, but we'll do what we can do. We will stream at the capacity at which we can stream. Alright, I'm gonna go find the waypoint here so we can... Actually, we might just grab the skill point while we're here. This is not a particularly difficult skill point to get. Betrayal might end up being a little bit difficult because of how kind of undertuned we are at the moment. Nope, not too bad. Not too bad. We get the Betrayal. I can never remember... Okay, Leo to Intervention. I don't think Leo is one of the ones I want in Intervention, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of him there. Unveil his boots. Ooh, those would be nice if they had some movement speed. And out of these, None of these are particularly good for what we are doing. I guess I'll get Onslaught during Soul Game Prevention, but none of them are really crafts that I can currently use. Right. Get ourselves the attack and cast speed. See if we can find the bottle here, or whatever it is. I think it's a sword, actually. The Storm Blade, if I recall. I think we're gonna start, until we get a better weapon, or at least a 5-link, we're probably gonna have a decent amount of difficulty dealing with the legions. Just, we're not even doing enough damage to break out the white ones very quickly, so... And the rares, as you can see, are quite the pain. Ooh, lightning. Standing on all that lightning was pretty dangerous, but luckily our survivability is good enough. Decent enough. I probably should have started heading towards the Scion Life Wheel before I started grabbing crit, honestly. We could have picked up the crit in the end game, but we have plenty of skill points to be getting here, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. And, oh, looks like we got a Vol side zone. Always do those. Get ourselves the possibility of some fragments, and maybe, if we're very, very lucky, a corrupted 6-link from the Vol Vessel. I would take a Vol Cyclone as well. Maybe. I mean, we'd lose a lot of damage. Maybe that one. And we're going to switch to Frost Blades anyway, so I don't think that would necessarily be the best idea. Hey, Robert, how's it going, dude? Going well, going well. I'm still a little bit sick today, and I'm a little kind of writer's blocky in terms of content. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing pretty well. Have some buddies coming over for the weekend. Might not be able to stream on Saturday, and if I do, it'll probably be short since I'll be hosting guests. But yeah. It's cool having some friends from out of town. Well, one friend from out of town, one friend from in town coming in. I don't really know what I would do. I'm thinking about, you know what, I'll pick up the Vol Double Strike just in case. But yeah, and Jessica is also doing well, so we have picked up some pizzas and possibly might grab some beers tomorrow, depending on whether or not we feel like doing that. And we're probably just gonna chill, watch anime, and hang out with our buddies. So it should be a good time. How are you doing, Robert? Can't seem to find the skill point thing here. Alright, well there's the exit. It's got to be around here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. Get ourselves a Storm Blade so we can get our skill point. Like to throw down my totem in the middle there just so I can take some pot shots, give us a little bit of boost in damage as well. And take care of these, the big ones. Alright, cool. Got ourselves the Stormblade. Pop back to town real quick. And take care of this blue pack. Double blue pack for the Mad XP. Okie doke. See if we can get a good sword here with this Gladius. It's got a decent amount of physical damage. Does it have an open prefix? It does have an open prefix, so we can probably get an upgrade for our sword here. 1.3, 1.3. Yeah, it's pretty similar. So, talk to Sin, get ourselves the Bottled Storm, and I'm probably gonna head to Hideout. Craft this up a little bit. We're not gonna have enough It's still going to be an upgrade even without the whetstones. We're not going to have enough whetstones to quality it up as much as I'd like. Ooh. Cool. Cool. I have not really played GTA 5. I kept thinking about it. Oh, almost max roll there. Hey, that's much better. Much better. Okay, this is good. Get the colors for it. 2 green and a red. There you go. And let's throw our stuff on here. Alright, so we go from 18,553 to 21,602. So quite the damage increase. There you go. Now we're looking a lot better. Diamond Casino and Resort update. Yeah. That sounds pretty fun. Yeah, I've always meant to. I played a lot of the original GTA, mostly GTA 3 and a little bit of San Andreas growing up, but I haven't really gotten an opportunity. I don't even think I did play GTA 4, but only a little bit. And I do enjoy me some GTA games. One of the more fun sandbox style games for sure. Me and my buddies used to just do that thing where we'd see how many, who could get the highest amount of stars on them and still survive. Try to get up to 5 wanted stars and then fight off a bunch of helicopters and stuff for as long as we could. Alright. Yeah, if I could get some whetstones on that sword, it would be looking a lot better, but I'll take it as it is. Sometimes this zone is laid out in a way that it's really easy to find the exit, and sometimes it's laid out in a really weird way. So, I mean, you can just kind of follow along the edge and you'll find where you need to go eventually, but it can still be a little obnoxious. Sometimes you need to go all the way around it. There might be an indicator that I'm not aware of that makes it easier, but yeah, currently I'm having difficulties, or I have some difficulties navigating this. Clear out some of these guys, pop this, and see what we can't. Yeah, still taking a little bit. Probably should have saved Berserk for when we wanted to kill a rare there. Hey, thanks for dropping in, dude. Appreciate that. Yeah. I will be streaming tomorrow, but like I said, I may not be streaming on Saturday. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll maybe see you Sunday. Right. Yeah, this might be a shorter stream anyway. We'll see. I want to get into maps this stream, but I'm not feeling super well tonight, so I'll see how much energy I have. Right. I hate this boss. I hate it so much. It's so obnoxious. I hate having to follow the scorpion tail. It's unique, but it's not unique in the fun way like some of the bosses are. It's unique in the kind of tedious way. I don't like the sand mechanic making you slower. I don't like having to wait for the tail to swing at you down the whole line. Alright, but that's okay. We only have to do it once, and then, yeah, sometimes in maps, you know, for if you need to spread elder influence or something. One time in maps, one time in the story, and no more scorpion. Alright. Try to get the deeps on this. Oh. We are feeling... You can actually get the sand stacks off you by just going outside of the sand, but it's still pretty annoying. Takes extra time. Hey! Joffrey's Baptism. I remember back in the day this was a pretty valuable item because leveling was so much harder, and having it as a leveling item was very handy for melee builds. I'll just keep this. Alright. Go back to town. Drop off the Joffreys. What is this? We got Chaos Resist and Reduce Chaos Damage over time. Not really good. Not so great. Alright. Everything in there. Grab our skill point. And... Alright, we're gonna start moving on up towards here. For like... It can be alright for like an Earthquake build if you're leveling and you happen to have it, but I mean, most leveling uniques aren't even that great these days, especially melee ones, because you have to swap them out so frequently. So I would say not particularly. Even unique leveling weapons, when you're going for a melee build, you'll still have to swap them out after like 10, 12 levels or so. And that's, you know, because even a rare that's just a couple of tiers higher is going to be better than most of them. That's not always true, but it's pretty often the case. So I would say it isn't really worth anything. If you want to make your leveling experience smoother and you happen to be playing, you know, like an Earthquake build or something, it's good. It's a fine leveling weapon when you're using it at level, but yeah. In the grand scheme of things, no, it's pretty bad. That's the short of it. It is very conditionally good for a short period of time. Grab ourselves the calendar here. Calendar of Fortune. Yeah. It's generally speaking, sometimes spellcaster uniques are still very good even though they're low level, like the Axiom Perpetuum, for instance, is a very good item for a very long time because it has insane spell crit. So if you want to run a spell crit build, you can run 2 of them right from the get-go and you're not going to replace them for a very long time because, you know, you can get a total of like 280% spell crit on them. So that is true, but yeah, when it comes to melee items, most of them are very quickly outclassed. There are a few that level with you. The ones that come to mind are Onigoroshi, Edge of Madness, that kind of thing. But they're very uncommon. I don't know why I picked that up. Slowing myself down, getting less loot. That's okay. We'll be clearing these a lot faster once we have our Frostblades going. Yeah, learning how to value items is definitely a learned skill for Path of Exile in general. It takes a long time, but if you, I mean, the best way you can do it is to just, in a trade league, make sure you're buying items and you kind of eventually get a feel for what's worth things. And if you level enough characters, you're like, this kind of item I only use for a little bit on a character, then it, you know, gets outclassed by rares. And this is the kind of item that is important to have in endgame. There are plenty of low-level uniques that you can use endgame in certain builds, and it makes them quite a bit more valuable. Or at least, you know, it makes you still capable of using them in specific niche builds. But considering just how many items there are in the game, particularly unique items, it's quite the learning curve, for sure. Got ourselves a red beast right from the get-go here. Things are kind of a pain, especially after the buff to the health of rare enemies. Jessica's cooking something and it smells really good. Hey, how's it going, Lucy? I will see you tomorrow night. I assume Taco will probably be picking you up pretty soon here. Or pretty soon. I'm pretty much like at 7 or something. I don't know how long it'll take him to get into town, but yeah, should be a good time. I got a bunch of pizzas, so we have that. And yeah, we'll probably just watch anime and hang out. As is usual. So I certainly can't afford to go golfing like Taco originally wanted when he came up here. At the moment. I'm just a poor boy. Ah. Taco John's, yeah. Are you gonna get yourself a 6-pack and a pound? Get your... Hey, how's it going, Steven? Thanks for stopping in, dude. I may as well grab the trial while we're here. The Roomba trial. Delish. Delicious, delicious Taco John's. Superior to... Yeah, Lucy came into chat. Gonna get his 6-pound in a pack. Wondering which map is to farm endgame for solo self-found? Depends what your goal is. If your goal is just to level as fast as possible, maybe, well, I mean, you can do a balance. You can kind of balance getting Legion fragments and leveling quickly, and you can do something like City Square or Glacier. I like to do linear maps personally, so something like Alleyways or Strand might be good for me, just because I like to be able to watch something on my other screen or listen to music and not have to pay attention. So I really enjoy linear maps, but if you want to go with the a good balance, Beach is also very nice. That's kind of a combination between open and linear, so that one's really good for farming for solo self-found. Yeah, I like Beach a lot, and it has a pretty easy boss too, so I would I'd pick one of those probably if you're going for, in terms of what you want to use your Elder Orb on. In terms of just like regular endgame maps, just farm Guardians and do Shaper. You know, you can get a lot of good loot even in solo self-found from Shaper. It's always nice to at least make sure you're getting yourself a Dying Sun, if nothing else, because it's so useful on so many builds. And yeah, just try to get some red elders, get yourself a Watcher's Eye, even if you just do red elder and not Uber Elder, because Uber Elder is really hard to get into on solo self-found unless you have a really refined build because of the steep difficulty incline on it. So go for red elder, get yourself a nice Watcher's Eye that synergizes with some of the auras that you have, and I think you'll be good. Hey Marcus, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping in, dude. Appreciate that. And good morning. Good morning from America, where it is not morning at all. It's it's getting on towards evening, late afternoon / evening. Yeah. Well, appreciate you stopping in. Bright and early on a Friday morning. I think it'd be Friday, yes. I got my days straight this time. I'm going to go ahead and grab the skill point quest here. By the way, other than Blood Aqueducts, this zone right here, the quarry, is very good for farming as well because it's very easy to see, to run in a circle and get the league mechanics like Betrayal, but also the Vol side zones are very easy to find around here. That's the refinery. We're going to... Yeah, we can go do the refinery and just come back. Stand still, stay silent. I have not. Whoa. Well, that's, never mind. Happy, I guess that's still technically morning then. Midnight 23, you say. Nobody says that. 12:23, you say. 0:23. International time. Time not in freedom units. I assume that's a Swedish webcomic then, Steven? Man. This... So what I might do is I might go back and I might farm the Quay for a little bit, just because I can farm some Vol side zones, maybe get some Etziri's fragments. No, I really want to just progress. I'm not planning. I might still do 2 hours. I feel a little bit better now that I'm streaming, weirdly enough. I haven't even been using Blood Rage. Man, I've been missing out on a lot of damage. Alright. See if we get anything cool. Hey, that's not... Nah. I don't know what this wand wants to be. It's got a bunch of good stuff, but it's all over the place. It's got the non-ailment chaos damage over time multiplier, cast speed, but then it's got lightning damage to spells, cold damage, and fire damage. It's got all the good stuff, but it's just completely non-synergistic. So I'm probably gonna vendor that. Not very high chance that I'm gonna use it. Alright, and this, and we're gonna hold on to some extra jewels. Alright, well, head and drop some stuff off. Right, 3. I should really label my stash tabs. But I usually, my Cyclone has 31,000 DPS and 2220 on a level 76. That's pretty good for level 76. Are you going non-crit or crit? Because that's going to make a big difference. My unbuffed DPS on my level 93 Cycloner is like 250,000, but my buff DPS is about 500,000. And I'm going a crit Cycloner. And it's pretty glass cannon. I mean, I've got like 6.2k health, but it's also level 93, so it's pretty much at the edge of it, at the end of its progression. All right, let's see if we can get that. Finland, cool. Cool. I haven't read a webcomic in so long. I used to read webcomics. Dork Tower was the one I used to read a lot. And I had a couple of other ones, but I can't seem to remember what they were called. So, you know, I should probably just pick up an armor, and if it's good enough, maybe attempt to 6-link it at some point. Probably, I mean, it would have to be really good for me to put that kind of effort into it, I guess, but... Art is phenomenal. Awesome. I will, if you want to link it in the Discord, maybe I'll check it out after the stream, depending on if I'm still feeling up to being on the internet. Cool. Yeah, it's been ages since I've read a webcomic. I used to be really into webcomics, but I can't even remember any of the ones that I used to read other than Dork Tower. And I only remember that one because... they made a card game called Munchkin after it, and I see that when I go into game stores, so that's the only reason I even remember that one. Yeah, I played Munchkin before, but I was at a con and I was very, very drunk, so I don't remember exactly how it goes, but cool. Kill 6 billion demons? Oh yeah, I remember you linking that to me, and I bookmarked it, but I never actually read it. Hey, congratulations, Marcus. That's awesome, dude. First Exalt? Did you? I assume you got it as a natural drop? Or did you trade for it? Steven thinks you would really like a comic called Stand Still, Stay Silent, and also Kill 6 Billion Demons. Hey, I like the sounds of the Kill 6 Billion Demons, at least. All right. Yeah, I think I have that bookmarked somewhere, so I'll go check it out. But the way you run the quarry, I keep calling it the Quay. That's a map. But the way you run the query is basically you just kind of do a loop around, and because of the way it's set up, you're very likely to run into the monolith, as well as any kind of master missions like betrayal, that kind of thing, that are available in it. So you'll run into those pretty quickly. Right, I keep forgetting to use Blood Rage. That's really slowing me down a lot damage-wise. And yeah, it's a nice little thing. You can do it in the start of a new league if you don't want to farm Blood Aqueduct. And you can also start setting up your betrayal if you're really into that. I usually don't do a lot to set up my betrayal. I probably miss out a lot, but I kind of just, you know, just click whatever I feel like clicking on betrayal. I'm not very good at setting that up. I skipped most of Betrayal League, so I still don't fully understand all the nuances of it. But yeah, you just run yourself a circle. Usually if there's a Vol side zone, it'll either spawn up here or spawn up here, and you can see it mostly from the inner ring. I think it actually might be able to spawn over here as well. You usually get a lot of blue packs as well, so it's fairly quick for leveling, just generally. But yeah, you just run yourself a ring, see what you can see, and then you can go back and reset it. And the monolith, I think like 90%. Just to drop in alleyways. Nice. Awesome. Hey, you get the double dipping from alleyways, because you can also get the divination card that drops exalts. So, pretty nice. I did a little bit of alleyway farming. I might do that. I might do my tier 16 as alleyway for this character, just because, or for my Elder Orb, just because I would like to. There you go. And the monolith is right here. So generally speaking, a lot of leagues you've been able to kind of abuse this, and Legion is very much the same. So when they do the Legion Flashback League, if you're not fully geared, you can skip if you don't feel like you need to farm a Tabula Rasa. You can skip that and farm here instead, especially if you have like a Vol Archer or a Lightning Trapper or a Essence Drain Contagion type character, because you can easily farm monoliths here. It's quite nice. Get a lot of extra gear drops. So just a little tip for anybody who is interested in that. I don't know if they're going to be doing a flashback league again or not. Not really sure, but yeah. I'll do it one more time just to kind of show here, but it's pretty simple. And usually you'll run into some other stuff too here, but then I'm just going to push on. Finish up this. Oh yeah, essences are pretty common around here as well. Hey, how's it going, The Wall? Thanks for stopping in, dude. Hype. Right, so you just kind of jump around and you know, clear what you want to clear. Blue packs mostly, and rares for me, but any kind of big setups, and sometimes they won't spawn here, but yeah, it's fairly reliable. So it looks like it spawned further out, but like 8 times out of 10 it will spawn very close to the inner rim there. Alright, but yeah, I forgot entirely to do that. Do you have a link to a free manga reader? I do not. I have friends who would probably know better than me. I just Google it. Also, yeah, I end up just Googling it. I know some of them have a lot of malware on there, so I'm a little hesitant to. That's the. Oh no, I messed up. I goofed. Manga Rock? Hey, thanks, Potato Head. I'm actually I forgot to get the waypoint in Foothills. Oh man. Well, here we go. But as a coincidence, Jessica and I are currently watching Attack on Titan because I heard that season 3 was very good. I've read in the manga, which or I've read up to the manga partway to where season 3 would be, but yeah, I do plan on watching the anime because the music is done by Hiroyuki Sawano, and I do think it's the kind of story that can have a lot added to it by animation, but the manga was quite good. I read it a very long time ago, but it's been a couple years since I'm definitely behind. Hey. Yeah. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Robert. Appreciate that, dude. Always appreciate your presence. I'll be back tomorrow. Skipping Saturday, I'm like 80% sure. I think my buddy said he was going to be bringing Smash Brothers Ultimate, so I might just have him and Lucci, who was in here earlier, hang out, outside and outside of my computer room, play Smash Brothers, and I might stream for at least an hour on Saturday, but we'll have to see. I don't know. It's pretty fun. I mean, the first season kind of suffers from some pacing issues in my mind. The second season tightens it up a little bit and helps with the character development, but I've heard the third season is where shit gets really good. So I'm a fan of that kind of thing. Also, I really like the art style. I'm a fan of the kind of like heavy lines, heavily stylized. The background art is gorgeous. It looks like a painting most of the time. So, big fan of that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just a cool, good time. And later on, it gets into some deeper, heavier stuff. It starts off as just a kind of enjoyable action type anime with some existential crisis, and moves on to some pretty interesting like political intrigue and also ultra violence. The good old ultra violence. I just pulled my back and it hurts a lot, and I'm trying not to show that and get back into the comfort. Ow. Alright, well, that sucks. Let me see if I can find a position that isn't incredibly painful. Alright, I think it's okay. Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, the animation in the first season is a little bit bad, but because, well, I wouldn't say bad. They do a lot with what they have. Like, instead of doing what some anime do where they just have like the boring static shots, at least they stylistically do like panning static shots, so they'll have a still image, but then they'll pan over it and kind of put a filter over it so it looks like it's like a montage type thing. I'll probably keep leveling Cyclone. I've just been playing Cyclone so much this league that I want to do something different, and I also think that Frostblades has a lot of potential. So Brotherhood, yeah, FMA Brotherhood is very good. Very, very good. I was gonna rewatch it, but of course, I think it was episode 4. I kind of got a little bit uncomfortable. It wasn't too bad, but it always is making me like, eh. Also, it's pretty long. It's almost 100 episodes. So me actually rewatching it is a bit of an undertaking, and I generally don't like to rewatch stuff I've seen a bunch of times type thing. But at some point I may. Yeah. I mean, in terms of shonens, like the only two that are pretty much ever brought up as being the top shonens are Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Hunter x Hunter. And indeed, those are the two of the only shonens that I still enjoy as an adult. So I mean, I really enjoyed a lot. Although my favorite one hasn't gotten a good adaptation, my favorite shonen manga is Shaman King, and I'm thinking they're going to give it the Brotherhood treatment, so I'm hoping that'll be good when they finally get around to it. Well, yeah, it wasn't, It depends. Are we talking about the original FMA, or are we talking about Brotherhood? Because I don't necessarily think that's true. Hunter x Hunter is very good. It's a bit of a slow burn. It's not your more standard. It's not standard. Also, I only think certain arcs are extremely good. I think the third arc and the longest final, well, not final arc, it's still ongoing, but the I guess what you could say is the current arc, what's called the Chimera Ant arc, are both absolute masterpieces. Those are really great. I wouldn't say the whole thing is super good necessarily all the way through, at least not for my taste. I found the first season it took me a bit to get warmed up, and I didn't really care for the second season at all. But the third one pulled me back in. I don't even know how I got through the second season. I think it was just because my buddy really tried to push that. Actually, my buddy that's coming down this weekend really pushed the idea that it was very, very good. I don't agree that it made no sense necessarily. I don't think that... wait, okay. I still don't know. Are you talking about the FMA, the original FMA, or FMA Brotherhood? Because their endings are very, very different. Although I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, so I probably won't talk about it too in depth. But, yeah. I don't know. I thought both endings were at least somewhat. OG? Oh. I didn't mind it. It wasn't as good as Brotherhood, but I mean, what am I doing? I'm not crafting onto this. Wait, can I craft onto something and then unveil it? The movie was a little bit weird, but it wasn't the worst ending I've seen. I've seen way worse endings, so I guess that shouldn't necessarily be the bar, but yeah. Was there ever a Betrayal Xana map mod? I don't believe so. I think right after Betrayal was introduced. Hey, Marcus, thank you so much. Oh, where's my... Come on, where's my Streamlabs? There it is. Well, there's the sound. Well, thanks for joining, dude. Really appreciate that. Helps me out a lot. New member. I wish my graphic had worked. I'm gonna have to... Darling in the Franxx. Darling in the Franxx had the most off-the-rails BS ending that I can possibly imagine. That was... Oh, man. That one, to use an old Happy Days phrase, that one really jumped the shark. I would say that's barely an exaggeration. Alright. You know what? I'm not going to try to 5 or 6 link this. I think that's a little bit of a waste. Thanks for joining, dude. Appreciate that. Wow. Welcome to the channel, Marcus. I will, you should have access, you should get a message with access to the Discord channel. Hey, awesome. And you get your little special banner next as well, next to it. If, we'll try to make more banners. I think we can have up to 5, so maybe in the future we can make some more ones. Were those hard for you to make, Jessica, the little pixel banners? Okay, cool. Alright, we'll try to figure out something cool that we can get for emotes and stuff for members. Hey, my second member, appreciate that. Alright, well. But yeah, Darling in the Franxx, the ending just was... I can't even do... I don't even know, man. Oh, sorry. Getting back, I got distracted. I am very easily distractible. No, I don't believe there was, because I think... no, Betrayal was the one where the Master System changed. And then after that league was Synthesis. Yeah, there was no Betrayal Xana mod. And there currently isn't one. That's true. I wish the Masters had Xana mods or some way to deterministically farm them. Got the info? Hey, yeah. So feel free to come by, have a chat. And, appreciate it, dude. Thanks, Marcus. Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, I would really like a better way to deterministically farm masters. Because getting June in particular, and sometimes, well, you know, Nico, if you want to delve. 10C looking for a random master spawn on the map. That would be cool, just to be able to force a random one. 10C might be a little steep, but maybe it would be worthwhile because people would use it to farm Nico. And so, I mean, scarabs. You can use scarabs to farm some of them, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can use... Well, you can use scarabs to farm Nico, at least. Are there any other ones you can do with scarabs? Yeah, when you consider the price of scarabs, that's definitely the case. I mean, you can get Parandus. That's been the primary way of me getting Kadiros and doing Parandus content was scarabs. Pretty much the only way to reliably do it. And unfortunately, outside of Legion, the only way to get a lot of scarabs is to do Betrayal. So you have to do the... you have to set up your Betrayal to get scarabs, and then use that to farm... Use that to farm some of the masters that you can't farm. So that's pretty obnoxious. But with the inclusion of Legion, and I'm just going to go ahead and call it, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm fairly confident that Legion will be a core mechanic and will go core immediately. I think it's been a fairly popular league. Maybe not the most popular, but it's got to be up there. It's got to be like top 3 for sure. It's definitely in my top 3 personally. In fact, I would put it right after Delve. I think Delve was my favorite league, and I think this has probably been my second favorite league. It's definitely been one that I've played more than other leagues, for sure. So. And then I actually like Abyss. A lot of people say, there wasn't a lot of new content added with Abyss. You just got the Abyssal Depths and you got the Abyssal Jewels. But I actually really love Abyssal Jewels, and I like all of the Abyssal Uniques and everything as well. So, yeah, I would say Abyss is my third favorite, probably. It's hard to say. Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of loot is available, and it gives you the availability of loot from all the different kinds of content. No, yeah, exactly. Cross-pollination of league drops and mechanics. That's a perfect way to put it, Rickaroni. I agree. You know, normally in order to get certain kinds of content and certain kinds of drops, you need to do very specific content. And sometimes that content is somewhat gated in terms of its availability, but Legion puts the availability onto every single map you do, every single zone you do. And I think that's fantastic. That is absolutely a great idea. I hope they do that more in the future. I know if they oversaturate it with mechanics that do that specifically, you're just gonna... Then what's the point of not having every league-specific mechanic be a world drop? So I don't know if they'll be able to do that, especially if Legion goes core, or when. I'm gonna say when because I think it's that likely. But yeah, if they were to oversaturate leagues with that, then it would become a little bit redundant. And at that point, why not just have every kind of content drop from everything? But oh yeah, I should be picking up items. What am I doing? Absolute crusher for me because I started in synthesis. Yeah. It's obviously that the system was designed to have many encounters. True. Yeah, Betrayal felt a lot better when I was encountering it in every single map in terms of, or for what I did play of it. I didn't play through all of Betrayal. I had a lot of IRL stuff going on at that time. So I didn't get to play it necessarily too much, but being able to do Betrayal in every single map helps you set up your Betrayal, or set up your Syndicate map, lets you farm hideouts more frequently. It felt a little bit better. Syndicate, I wasn't a fan of the mechanic, but I liked all of the changes to like skills and everything that came through in Syndicate, so I ended up playing a bunch of it anyway, even though I wasn't a big fan of the league itself. It's the only league that ever had me go back to Standard, to play Standard for a while. Nice. Really? I have a 93 character too, and I've done 2 or 3 syndicate hideouts already. So I feel like maybe it just comes down to RNG at that point. Alright. 1 down. Yeah, I think maybe I've just been pretty lucky, but I feel like I've done, like, yeah, I've done 3 Legion bosses already. The Katarina or whatever, this league. Although, to be fair, one of them might have been on a different character. It might not have been on all of the same character. I have a lot of different characters. Could have also been on 3 different characters. I don't really recall. So that is also a possibility. Because as you may know, I am an altaholic. I have a ton of different characters. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there's not even a lot of good YouTube videos about it. I keep thinking about making a YouTube video about that, but oops, I accidentally turned off my my pride. I keep thinking about it, but I don't know the system well enough myself. Maybe I should just dedicate a lot of time to learning that so I can make a really comprehensive guide for setting up your syndicate. Because I know there's the issue with it that having certain syndicate members in certain factions will, yeah, that would be a lot of work. Will give you certain benefits once you get into their hideouts. And so you can set it up so you can functionally infinitely farm things like scarabs, like white sockets, quality for armors, like basically having certain syndicate members in certain areas of the syndicate will give you certain bonuses, but I'm not really sure who does what, exactly at least. Also, I'm pretty sure you can get the Elrayan craft. There's a lot of crafts that are specific, like the minus mana cost one, that I don't know how to set it up to get. I don't know if it's just any time Elrayan can drop a ring and you can get that craft on it, but I haven't gotten it a single time, and I've been playing this league forever. Yeah, that might be true. My best video just recently passed 300k, which I'm very, very proud of. I've never, you know, that's well above, it's over triple my second best video, so that one was quite the hit. Maybe one day I'll be able to replicate it. Hopefully. If I can do the betrayal, maybe I can get something like that. But it would require a lot of effort, I think. Alright, now that we're over 3k life. It was my farmable items one with the Onigoroshi and Tabula Rasa and what was the Loreweave. So yeah, I mean that video wasn't one of my best videos in terms of editing. It was kind of long-winded, but I did put a lot of effort into it because I went and I farmed an Onigoroshi specifically for it. So in that regard, I'm very proud. But in terms of the actual value I got out of it, or in terms of the actual editing of it and how I feel about it as a content creator, it's kind of been not so great. About his divination card? No, I didn't. Did he get a supporter pack and get a custom div card? I know that, I think it was either Ziz, I think it was Ziz was talking about getting a div card for a stack of alteration orbs, which I think would be very useful because I feel pressured to pick up a lot of rares and sell them so that I have a lot of alterations at all times. And it's not really time efficient to be picking up and identifying all that stuff, but I feel like it's kind of necessary. Price of loyalty. Do you know what it does? It's a 2 implicit corrupted skin of the loyal. Oh wow. I bet you that's gonna be really rare though. There's no way that's gonna be a common one. Because that's it's pretty good. Pretty solid reward. I've only had skin, I think I've only had skin of the loyal like once or twice total, so it's not an item that I've utilized a lot. Yeah. Well, can't be that rare. I don't know. I feel like it'll either be rare or it will have a high number, probably. That's true. Yeah, that's fair. But the Venture's Gamble divination card is at least somewhat rare, and that's also the pinnacle of RNG. So, or is there a Watcher? I don't think there's a Watcher's Eye divination card. I think there should be a Watcher's Eye divination card, but that's true. Yeah, getting one specific to your build is probably going to be pretty difficult. All right, what do we want for a flask here? I'll just hold on to it. I might get a phasing flask later on. Is there? Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten it before. Yeah, even just like a two property or a two aura property Watcher's Eye divination card. Well, apparently it exists, but it would be really nice. I mean, it's pretty quick and easy for the most part. I mean, it's a little tedious, but it's not super difficult to just farm red elders for pretty quick. That's probably what I'm gonna do to try to get a Pride Watcher's Eye here. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I'll get a Hatred Watcher's Eye and switch to Hatred. In fact, am I leveling? I don't think I'm leveling a Hatred. That's a bit of an oversight. Oops. Yeah, I don't think I'm leveling a Hatred, which I'm definitely going to be wanting to use when I get switched over to Frostblades. But, that's fine. Whatever, I'll just deal with having a under-leveled Hatred for a little while. I'll pick it up at endgame from whoever. Got a new card today I've never gotten for a Starforge. Ooh, man. Yeah, I'm really liking... That's another reason I like Legion, is I'm seeing a lot of divination cards that I've never really seen before because of all the stacked decks. I've gotten a bunch of divination cards that I didn't even know existed, to be honest. So, it feels really good. Getting those div cards. See if we... Oh no! Get this! Yeah. Alright, managed to get a couple of them. Yeah, there's Legion... There's a lot to love about Legion. That is no doubt in my mind. I mean, there are some issues you could have with it too. It kind of speaks to the point of maybe getting a little oversaturated with loot at some point if it keeps pushing in this direction. I mean, compared to like 2 years ago, the game's already gone in that direction, but it's more popular than ever and it feels more accessible that way. So I don't really think that's a bad thing. That'd be nice. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Steven. Have a good night, dude. Appreciate that. Yeah. Hope to see you tomorrow. Hopefully. It is a Friday night. So who knows? But yeah, I don't think my buddies are getting here until like 9 or so, because one of them has to work until 5. And he also has to drive a couple of hours, so it'll be pretty late. So I'll be able to stream from 5 to 7, chill, clean up the house a little bit maybe. Probably do that in the morning. We'll see. I might have to make a video tomorrow. Maybe do it after stream. You know, emergency clean. Gotta rush clean. Well, okay. That's true. I feel like there is a decent amount of fairly useless stuff. But, you know, because of all those junk drops dropping so frequently, you have a lot of just currency farming botters that drive the price down for things like transmutes and whetstones, that kind of thing. And because of the frequency of their drops, the prices are low, so you can buy a bunch of low-level currency for very cheap. So I guess that's kind of the bright side of that. In the long run, it probably hurts the economy and makes it more difficult for new players to, make more currency like they could. But, it works out. I feel like the amount of lower tier currency dropped in this league has been unreal. I have 400 alchemies in the Legion trade league, and normally I burn through alchemies so fast that I end up having to buy them. I have not once had to buy alchemies, and I've been accumulating them so much faster than I've been burning through them that it's insane. I can't even believe how frequently I'm getting elks in this league. Probably just start picking up high level jewelry and elking it again, back in the good old days. There was a time where that was the way to go. What am I doing in the reliquary? I don't even know what I'm doing. I've just been on autopilot mentally. I have no idea why I'm here or if there's a reason I'm here. I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure Act 10 Reliquary has nothing. Yeah, it doesn't even have a... Man, I gotta get out of here. What am I doing? Oh yeah, it has a side quest, but it's it's a respec point side quest. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. Maybe I should have just grabbed it since I was in there. I'm a very, very distracted boy. Lots to talk about. Hey, how's it going, Loki? Thanks for stopping in, dude. How you doing, man? Yeah, we gotta go... Whoa. Am I going the wrong way here? I think I am. Oh yeah, I remember. You gotta go up to the right in this map, man. Hey, Shelton, how's it going, dude? Thanks for stopping in. How you doing? I'm just getting lost. Omnisec. Just started this game. Watching a few of your vids. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate the viewership. Hope you're enjoying. I love this game a lot. Been playing it for 6-7 years, apparently. So I thought it was not quite that long, but time flies when you're having fun. Catch your streams, but keep missing them? Well, on most nights, I'll be streaming from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Roughly. Standard Juggy. Yeah. I love Juggernaut. It's one of my favorites, but a lot of people find it boring, so I don't do it for content. I don't find it boring at all. I'm a big fan of the Juggernaut. I like not dying. I like doing a lot of damage, but I think I like not dying more than that. And you can usually get a good balance between not dying and doing a decent amount of damage on Juggernaut. So, doing a Berserker this time. Yeah, I think a lot of people are that way. They give it a try when Diablo 3 started falling off, and then kind of, they'll occasionally come back. I don't know if Diablo 4 is coming out anytime soon, but assuming that GGG drops the 4.0 before then, and it turns out to be a really big hit, might not be much of a rivalry there. It used to be that D3 was miles ahead of POE, but I think in terms of concurrent player base, POE's got it covered now. Another one. Hey, there's another one. Lots of new people. How's it going, man? Starting this league and I don't know what to build. I'll do Essence Jane. Hey, those are both great builds currently. I would highly recommend either one of them. I like to do Slayer Cyclone, but yeah, if you want to do a pure physical Impale Cyclone, definitely that is a viable option. Tons of content in the game, playing through, learning as I go. Any tips for a super new player? How far along are we talking? Have you gotten through the story mode and into end game maps? Because depending on where you are, there's a lot of different stuff here. Doing a Slayer Cyclone and a Tornado Shot MF? Yeah. Gotta have the good old MF character. Went to a jump park with my sons today. After 3 minutes, oh no! Man, that sucks, Marcus. Sorry to hear you. Wow. Is a jump park one of those cool ones with all the like trampolines and stuff? If so, I've always wanted to do that. Level 44? Okay. So for now, I would mostly just worry about getting on to endgame. What you want to do when you hit probably Act 9 or so is just... Are you playing a trade league or are you playing solo self-bound? And are you playing standard or are you playing hardcore? I'm going to assume you're probably playing standard and trade league, but I would not be afraid to, once you hit level 60 or so, spend some currency on items and kind of research what kind of items you're wanting to do for your build. For your Juggernaut, which skill are you using for your main skill? First ever 6-link dropped this league, but it was Shiver Sting, and man, I had the same thing happen. I forget, what's that mace called with the like ball on the end? Void Home. I had a 6-link Void Home drop this league, and I was devastated. My first 6-link, no, second 6-link unique. The first one was equally disappointing. Scion, Tesla, Cyclone. Yeah. Man. Boy. I've always wanted to I forgot to get the waypoint to Ravage Square. I think I'll get shot back out there once I go through this zone though, so I think I'll be okay. But man, I've been forgetting waypoints left and right this playthrough. I'm a very distractible person, so what you're getting is not the top tier gameplay, but it is it's something, you know. It's fun. Boy, this is... Do I need this for stats? That's a terrible amulet. I don't know why I have this. Let's go ahead and swap that out. There. Got like 200 life. Just my luck. Trampolines and stuff. So fun. Yeah. I know what you mean. I have a tendency to do that myself, so... I understand completely. But yeah, going back to the tips for a new player, I would just worry about getting on towards endgame. Before you fight Act 10 Kitava, which is usually anywhere between level 62 and 70, depending. Can be a little bit later if you do what I did and you stop to farm like Blood Aqueducts to gear up. But I would make sure that you're all capped out on resistances, and if you're in a trade league, don't be afraid to go to the POE trade UI, which can be found on the POE website, and check that out. Alright, I'm just going to toss this in here and deal with that later. And see what kind of items you can get. Search for, if you're doing a melee build, which I assume you are, I would go and try to find high physical DPS items. So kind of just type in a number to start with. Depending on one-hander or two-hander, it kind of depends. But for a starter endgame type thing, like usually you'll be fine with like 250, 300 DPS. And then you can kind of work your way up from there. You can get very cheap items that way. Whoa! Look at that lag. Look at the lag. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to one of those jump parks. I went on a trampoline for the first time in years. This last weekend, actually, at a pool party. And it was very tiring. I'm very out of shape. Busto no gusto. Yeah. Oh, did you try to go to sleep and fail, Matt? I know how that was. Last night, I tried to go to bed at like 11, I think, and I didn't end up getting... I laid in bed for like 2 hours, just couldn't fall asleep. Finally got to bed at like 1, And then I woke up at 5 a.m., of course, because my body is, I don't know. I get a certain, I always wake up around the same time, no matter when I go to sleep. So if I'm used to waking up at, 6, 7 in the morning, then I'm waking up at 6, 7 in the morning, even if I don't go to bed until 2 or 3. So that's just the way my body works. I have a really good internal clock. When I'm working a 9 to 5, I usually wake up about 5 minutes before my alarm. I've never, very rarely, only in times of absolute exhaustion do I actually wake up to my alarm. So I don't know what it is, but I have a weirdly accurate internal clock. Which is weird because I forget the time, or I forget the date all the time. Carcass Jack 5 link with +2 AoE gems would go for. Oh, so it's corrupted, so it can't be 6 linked, but it still sounds pretty valuable to me, honestly. Boy, you'd probably have to look that up, because that's a pretty unique pricing situation. Like, I imagine a 5 link Carcass Jack. Ooh. Carcass Jacks, last time I checked, weren't all that expensive. Maybe like 10, 18 chaos something. A 5 link one's going to be a little bit, 2 red, 2 green, 1 blue. Okay, so you could potentially use it for Cyclone, although I don't think a lot of Cycloners. Can't find it on any site. Yeah, you're probably not going to. So the thing is, it's obviously more valuable than a standard 5 link, but not exponentially so as it would be if it was a 6 link, because you'll never be able to make it a 6 link. So I would probably value it at like maybe 25% higher or so than a regular 5 link Carcass Jack, just to make sure you're getting value out of it, but not, going a little bit overboard on it. Because I don't think it's just not a long-term item. It's kind of a, like, you're not going to want to use that forever, although it is quite powerful. Also, the links make it a little bit more difficult because it's not a spellcaster one. It would have a little bit more longevity if it was a spellcaster setup type thing, like 3 blue, 2 green or something like that. But the 2 reds make it kind of difficult. Yeah. Broken ankle sucks, dude. I had a broken ankle when I was a kid, and that was a long time ago, but I don't even remember how much it was or how it felt, but +2 AoE. Yeah, 6 link with +2 AoE is going to be quite pricey, but a 5 link is going to be, I would just say go find a 5 link Carcass Jack and try pricing it about 25% above what that price is. And if it doesn't sell after a couple of days, I would just, head back. And I messed up that waypoint so bad. What is wrong with me today? I'm going to have to either go through I can go through the reliquary. That works. Turned out to be a good thing I got the reliquary waypoint after all. One-hander and shield main skill, I'm using Cyclone, Ground Slam, Regular, and Ball Static. Whoa. What I would try to do to start with is figure out which skill you liked the best and just stick with one skill, because having all of the different skills means you can't use as many auras and utility setups. So I would try to focus on one singular skill to start with, and that'll probably increase your ability to progress much quicker. So I would start off with that as my first kind of thing. Hey! Gotta rest and play POE with my boys instead. Well, that doesn't sound so bad either. It's a very minor upside to having a broken ankle, obviously, but, And it's probably not quite as fun as a trampoline park, depending on how much you enjoy POE. Some people would argue it. I currently, in my current shape, would probably get really, really tired out after like half an hour in a trampoline park, or a jump park. Yeah, so I'd start off doing that, kind of figure out what kind of weapon you want to use specifically. So like, you might want to use swords or axes if you're going to go Cyclone, but you might want to use maces or axes if going Ground Slam. So what you're going to be using is going to be pretty drastically different depending on the skill you choose. Oh, I'm lagging? Man. Good old internet. Yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. It says I'm uploading at 3,000 kilobytes per second. So 3 megs. I should have 5 megs upload. Do you see me lagging, or can you check for me? Double check, make sure it isn't on his end or something. Well, it looks like the stream is a little bit behind at least. Okay. Okay. It should only be like a 3-second delay though. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the ossuary, grab the trial here. Okay. Yeah, it might be on your side, Matt. Hey, how's it going, Sleazy Gamer? Thanks for stopping by again, man. Gotta catch up, man. See no lag? Okay, cool. So it might just be on your side, because it looks all clear from here. Okay. Alright. Yeah, hotel internet notoriously notoriously slow. Been there, done that. Boy. So I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna clear the horns, and then I'll probably go and do Merciless Lab. And then we'll go kill Kitava. I could kill Kitava and do Merciless Lab, or I could do it the other way around. I'm not really sure which way I want to do it. Okay. Yeah. Hotel Wi-Fi. Not great. Not great at all. Always got a decent delay. I have it set up to low latency, so it should be like a 3 or 4 second delay. I have it set low because I want to, I used to have it set to a high one because I played Magic the Gathering and I didn't want somebody to like watch my stream and cheat off me. But on here I want to make sure, but I ended up lowering it for that too because I felt that being able to interact with people in real time was more important. But yeah, it should only be like a 3 or 4 second delay or so, hopefully. It's set up right. Been trying for 3 days now to get a Sacrificial Garb into Shadow Stitch. Yeah, I keep trying that too. I keep picking up the Sacrificial Garb and hope that I can get a Shadow Stitch, but it never works out for me. So I don't think I've ever successfully done it. So I've kind of just given up at this point. Chamber Corruption, I don't know how to make incursions to point towards Chamber level 3. Well, I mean, there is a method. I don't remember exactly what it is because it's kind of complicated, but you can more deterministically try to get level 3s of certain rooms. If you only run the first, every time you get an Alva, if you only run the first 2 iterations, you can skip one of the 3 iterations and it'll like basically re-roll one of the ones to be more likely to have a tier 3 room. Because every time you roll Alva, I believe it will always give you 3 different rooms in the incursions, is how it works. So if you only run 2 of them, if you see one that you don't like and skip it, and only run 2 of them, that means you can roll one of the 2 that you ran in the last one again. And then on the 15th one, boy, it's pretty complicated, yeah. So because it's 3 different ones every time, it'll always be the 3rd one again, the very first one in the beginning, but of the next map. But yeah, basically the way it works is you can get more level 3 rooms that way by only running 2 out of the 3 incursions and then setting that up. So that might help a little bit, or at least I hope that is. Put you up in the Marriott? Yeah. I don't have very high standards for hotels, so that still sounds good to me. I always would just stay in the cheapest hotel that I could possibly get, or possibly motel. Although that's gotten me into some weird situations. I remember this really shady motel in Chicago with a gas leak and some shady deals going on outside. But, you know. Hey, Banksy Psycho Hacker. How's it going, man? Banksy's here. Where am I going here? I keep forgetting what I'm doing. I'm trying to like explain things and interact with chat. I'm very scatterbrained at the moment, and I have a low attention span to begin with. So, I have a shield, or should I dual wield? Shield is better defensively for better survival. Dual wield is better for damage, and generally speaking, it's easier for a two-hander to get good damage early on, but then later on. Okay. Oh, Ban Sky. Not Banksy. Gotcha. Ban Sky Psycho Hacker. That makes more sense. What am I doing here? I have the... Man. I know what I have to do. I'm doing everything in the wrong order here. But yeah, it's difficult, but there are some ways you can manipulate the Elva Temple a little bit. Increase your rate at getting tier 3 rooms. I never really use that method. I usually just run them because I like the loot that you get from running incursions, and I'm not too worried about running them. But if I was trying to go ahead and get myself a Shadow Stitch, I would definitely be trying out that method for sure. Alright, well, let's see if our glorious plate here... Whoa! 131 life, triple resist! Check that out. It's not great resistances, but... Boy, that's pretty good for a starting armor, I would say. I mean, we gotta keep it on the 4-link, but 131 life, that is about as good as it gets. Well, not really, but it's about as good as it can get before you get to maps, for sure. Pre-maps, that is some nice armor. Hey, thanks for stopping in again, Matt. Appreciate that, dude. Good luck with your meeting. Wow. The RNG, the quest reward RNG. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it has an open prefix, right? Yeah, I can even get like, I can craft something onto that if I want. May as well. Maybe armor percent, get some nice tanky goodness going on. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it looks like just armor. We don't have... there's not a lot of great crafts we can do. I'm just going to leave it. Just going to leave it be. So, yeah, that's true. Every method for 6 linking piece apart from tabula is non-successful. Have you tried praising Kaduku? I would say that's the most effective way to go about it. What am I... Is this elixir for a side quest? Yes, okay. So I got this. I need to go to Ravaged Square. I lost track of where I was and what I was doing. Oh, there he is. Got it. Gotcha. Alright, we're good. Alright, so I have a choice to make now. Do I want to go do Merciless... Actually, I'm going to do this first because I don't want to take 10% damage from... 10% increased damage from Kitava. So I'm going to go ahead and just go do Kitava first, and then I'll go do it. What gems are a good link with Cyclone again? Really appreciate the info. Alright, so the way I'm doing Cyclone is Cyclone, Brutality, Fortify, and Rage. Rage is really good for clear speed, but Melee Physical is probably better for just pure damage. But the reason I like to do Rage is because it gives you up to 10% additional movement speed, which is really nice for Cyclone. That's the main reason. I don't have any... Oh well, that's fine. Because I'm gonna take more damage from Kitava because I'm gonna get Aspect of Carnage. I'm pretty good about not getting hit by Kitava during that fight, so it's not usually a problem. But when I stream, I'm much more distracted and I get hit by a lot of stuff that I shouldn't. So just to play it safe, I'm gonna go kill Kitava, then I'll go do Merklab. Doesn't matter too much which order I do it in. I'm also missing like 2 skill point quests at least, so yeah, because I'll get that 10% more damage taken. It's gonna be a little dicier if I do happen to, you know, stand in his arm or something. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Shelton, those are good links for sure. Sometimes I will forego the infused channeling if I don't want to get the 6 link, but it does give you increased survivability, which is really nice. So, yeah. Pulverize is really good. Impale is incredible if you're going pure physical damage. If you are going to get the Impale support, I would also recommend you use a Dread banner instead of a War banner and pick up the Impale effect over here and Swift Skewering along with the Forceful Skewering, because it'll almost double your damage. Even though it won't show up on your tooltip, it'll actually almost double your damage, or possibly more than double your damage. So it's a really big DPS increase. Fortify, Infuse, yeah, that's a good one. I also sometimes like to use what's the name, the AoE one, but it's not strictly necessary. Pulverize, that's what it's called. Pulverize. I do like to use Pulverize sometimes, just for the... Hey! Thanks, man. Been face tanking everything up till now. Alright, looks like I still have my Streamlabs messed up. I keep thinking I fixed it, and then I don't. But I appreciate the $2, Omnisec. Thanks, dude. Super chat up in here. Oh, let me go off and run into a corner so I don't die, and go ahead and update that. There. Recent super chat. We got Omnisec with the, in all caps, with the $2. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that, dude. All right. Omnisec. Yeah. And, yeah. Anything I can help you with, I'm always here to answer questions for sure. I have a good amount of expertise. I can't always convey it in a coherent manner on the fly, but I'll try my best. Trying to explain the temple thing was kind of difficult. Maybe I'll do my next video on that, because if I can sit down and write a script for it, it'll be a lot easier to explain. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll explain how to get more value out of temples that way. Might be a short video, but it'll be something at least. Feeling a little creatively constipated lately, having a hard time coming up with new ideas, so gotta latch on to anything I can think of that might be valuable information. Know the grind all too well? Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, really do appreciate that. You know, it feels good. Now that I'm getting a lot of people in here, I think doing a regular stream was really, I'm really happy that I started doing that, because, you know, I get a lot of regulars, starting to feel a lot closer with you guys, feeling, you know, some friendships brewing, and not just in the kind of hello friends kind of way. Feels a lot more comfortable. When you first start off a new stream and everybody's new and you don't know what they're up to, you don't know what kind of thing they like, what they know, that kind of thing. It can be a little intimidating and take a while to get comfortable, but yeah, I'm feeling good about it. And Aura's Blood and Sand, Dread Banner, Flesh and Stone, and Pride. Yes. Although I feel like there's one other one that I like to use. I can't remember what it is. Well, my second dump tab is full. What do I do? Well, you're gonna have to do some spring cleaning, or I guess just get a new dump tab. Get a quad tab. pay to hoard, right? Grab yourself a quad tab. and get to it. Ah, yes. That's about all you can do, though. I mean, you're either going to have to clear something out, buy yourself a quad tab, or more stash tabs in general, or, you know, searched on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, if there are no good videos on how to farm temple, you know, somebody's got to do it. Ah, here. Bewildered about tabs, haven't gotten into that yet. Yeah. If you are, reading chat. If you are free to play, you have to be very, very choosy on what you do, which is probably the hardest thing as a new player. Just prioritizing what you keep in your stash tab when you don't know what is good. But it is doable. It's just not very convenient.
Hello,
hey!
Welcome to Behind Eyes Gaming.
Well, thank you for subscribing, whoever subscribed. Appreciate that. I wish I had a warmer welcome for you by name, but yeah, currently my Streamlabs is messed up. I accidentally, in an attempt to fix the double Streamlabs notification, I accidentally must have just gotten rid of the visual notification for it. So I think it's actually how I have OBS set up. Precision. Oh yeah, Precision. That's the one. Thanks, Shelton. Appreciate that. Yes, Precision is one I would recommend highly. I would use it over Blood. Yeah, Blood and Sand, but I would keep Flesh and Stone personally, because I think Flesh and Stone is a little bit more of a priority, generally speaking. Still bewildered about tabs. I suggest you keep it in stock till you get into maps. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, you know, just anything that seems like it'd be useful, hold on to it, and once you have a better idea of what kind of items you want to use, just go in and clean it out. When you have 4 tabs, it's not that daunting. I tried to clean out my standard stash tabs. Not happening. Not even possible. Absolutely insane. Constantly selling, doing my best to keep the clutter down. Yeah, that's that's all you can do, really. Right. Well, it looks like I managed to not die to Kitava despite being very, very distractible. Gonna take a nice victory vape and have my last sip of coffee here. Oh. Alright, so we get into endgame. So I'll kind of show you how I like to do my endgame. First thing I always do is, in case you didn't know, you can type in \passives into chat. I'll kind of move chat here. So you can type in \passives, and at the end of the game, it'll tell you which passives you're missing. I didn't take deal with the bandits. I took a Lyra, I believe, for the crit multi. And then I don't have Reflection of Terror, the Gemling Legion. I missed the Gemling Legion? And Valenta's Vengeance. I think I just didn't turn in the Gemling Legion, because I swear I did that. But basically you can check those out. You can see what's missing. It is 6:33 p.m. I'm a little bit of a... I'll drink coffee up until a couple of hours before I go to sleep, basically. So I'm not necessarily the healthiest when it comes to my caffeine intake. Do not look at me as a role model in that regard. Maybe not in any regard, but maybe as a content creator, I'd be happy with that. But in any other regard, don't drink caffeine until it's nighttime. Unless you want to. Don't vape, yeah. Don't vape, especially if you're a kid. These are... I didn't do the Gemling. Man. Really? Huh. You have killed the Gemling. Talk to Maramoa.
What do you want?
I just clicked past it. There you go. Alright, got that. Let's see. We are going to... You know what, I'm just going to pick up some life, and then I'll grab Twin Terrors over here. I'm just gonna get some life. We'll pick up Twin Terrors. I should probably get Juggernaut instead. Oh well, I'll grab that with my next one. What's the gym schedule looking like? Well, I do as many Hindu push-ups as I can every other day, and it usually takes me about 1 to 2 minutes. So no actually going to the gym. That's pretty much the only exercise I get. Not, once again, not the healthiest. I mostly stay in shape strictly with a diet only. So that's the only reason I manage to not be very, very large. Yeah, Jessica's doing Pilates over here half an hour a day, being much more responsible health-wise than I am. Oh, I could do Pilates with you. I don't know. Exercising for half an hour a day, that just seems like a lot of time. That's a lot of time that I'd spend not playing video games and making YouTube videos. That sounds, you know... No, maybe I'll definitely consider it. But yeah, I mostly do bodyweight exercises. I'll do squats too. Pilates stream! Next time on Behind Eyes Gaming. I'm pretty sure she gets her Pilates thing from another video, so there'd probably be some... there'd probably be a little bit of copyright issues. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose we could set that up. Why not? Oh yeah, I didn't do this yet either, this Trial of Ascendancy, so it's a good thing we came back here. Only have Flesh and Stone, Blood Rage? Yes. I also really like to have Berserk if I'm running either the Rage support or if I'm being the Berserker Ascendancy. I think that one's very good as well. Pilates will help the back. True, I probably should think about that solely for that reason, because I have back issues. I've had back issues since I was 12 years old, and it may or may not be related to my gaming or my excessive gaming. So, yeah. Blood Rage. True. Yeah, it does degen your HP, but if you have some health regen and life leech, you barely even notice it, honestly. Alright, so we got our Merc Lab. I forgot I was even missing that. And we got everything else going. What's your max plank, Jessica? Yeah, what are you looking at? Max plank. My max plank of all time was like 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Oh, I'm sure you could now.
No, I remember.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that. Was I drunk? Okay. Well, apparently Jessica can outplank me. To be fair, the last time I tried to plank, I could only do like 40 seconds or something. But there was a time where I was doing like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, you know, sit-ups. I was doing all of that on a daily basis. And at that time, I was planking as well. My max plank was like 2 minutes and 11 seconds or something. What I do is I go through like periods of time where I'm really motivated to get fit, and then I go through periods of time where I kind of let myself go. No, it's a cyclical nature. Basically, if I get to I have an emergency weight that I get to, and when I hit that emergency weight, I stop eating whatever I want, start, you know, watching my diet more carefully, and start exercising more. Right now, I'm managing to stay underneath that emergency weight while barely exercising. So, it's good enough for me. Back in the physique days, yeah. I mean, I used to be a competitive Dance Dance Revolution player, so I was actually quite fit. That sounds very awesome. It doesn't sound lame at all. It sounds extremely awesome, and anyone who doesn't think so, Jessica thinks it's awesome. Yeah. And that's the only thing that matters. But, that's true. That's the secondary thing that may matter. It's a buff once it's used. Yeah, you get a buff that basically reapplies itself when you kill enemies, and it'll help you generate frenzy charges. As you can see, I'm using it right now. When you kill enemies, and it'll give you an additional attack speed. But the cost is that you degen... What's the emergency weight? Like, keep in mind I'm tall, okay? And I'm built very wide. I'm gonna tell you guys my emergency weight, and you guys are gonna think that it's very high. It's 240 pounds, but keep in mind that I'm 6'2" and I have a very large build. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Yeah. That's my emergency weight. When I hit 240, I hit the panic button and try to, make sure I lose it back down. But yeah, I am a large man, just generally speaking. I most recently hit my emergency weight this last Halloween. In fact, I had surpassed my emergency weight by a good 12 pounds or so. And I didn't even realize it. I was just basically eating whatever I wanted. And got back from a night of drinking and eating candy, and I weighed myself, and I'm like, well, I'm out of here. I thought you were going to say 300. Nope. I'm not quite, yeah. I've never been to 300. There was a time, 7 years ago now, that I was at 292 pounds, and that was my heaviest. And the lightest I've been as an adult was 210 pounds. I look pretty fit when I'm at about 210. I feel like my theoretical ideal weight would be something like 185 or so, but it's hard to say. Like if I wanted to look, model-esque, like one of those statues, maybe 185, 190, somewhere around there. But all right, what else am I missing? I am missing Valenta's Vengeance, and then we'll go do Merklab. So. Valenta's. Yeah, that was my kind of, well, I made a lot of bad life decisions back then. I didn't really care that much about, well, let's be honest, anything. I was I had just gotten through a 2-year drinking binge and had abused other substances as well during that time, and kind of just became a little bit of a shut-in. So it was dark days, and I ate Hot Pockets and pizza and cereal, basically exclusively. Love to see a 2-minute push-up stream. Well, when I was drunk the other night, I did 40 push-ups, so I know I can still do 40 push-ups. I don't know how many I could do in 2 minutes, or even if I could keep that up. But I know I'm at least still capable of doing at least 40 push-ups, which is good. And that's when I was pretty drunk. So, that... I'm no lifting nerd, bro. But yeah, I used to do 3 sets of 20 every other day, and at my maximum I was able to do 120 push-ups in one day. But that is pretty much, yeah, that's not bad, especially considering I'm still a little bit in the heavier range. I'm not down to my, normal adult weight, which is in the low 220s. That's what I consider my average weight. I'm kind of in my middle weight right now, what I like to call the dad bod weight, I don't look like I'm particularly overweight, but I got a little bit of a beer belly going on. Drink of choice, alcoholic and not. Well, non-alcoholic, it's definitely coffee. I drink pretty much nothing but coffee all the time. Dad bod, lol. Yeah. I'm in perfect Chris Pratt, not Chris Pratt as a superhero, but Chris Pratt as Andy from Parks and Rec mode right now. And my favorite alcoholic beverage, I really love right now limoncello, which is an Italian lemon liqueur. I also love gin and beer, specifically for lighter beers. I like Blue Moon, and for darker beers, I like Guinness Extra Stout for name brand stuff. But I also do like to drink, we live in Wisconsin, there's a lot of local breweries, and I do like to drink a lot of local stuff. Usually Jessica and I'll get a sampler 6-pack from the local grocery store that'll have a lot of local brewery, different beers. I enjoy IPAs as well. Limoncello is really good. Oh, man. Yeah, I've become very fond of that. I love the Christmas tree taste of gin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Alcohol thins the blood, so helps you do more push-ups. That's true. I was lighter from the thin blood. Thin blood, thin body. That's what they say. Yeah. Man. Dad bod. But yeah, at about 220 pounds, I was doing, well, I was probably under 220 pounds when I was doing my regular exercise regimen. I just don't feel like putting in that much effort anymore. You know, I'm in my 30s. I don't feel like working out for an extended period of time every day. If it's gonna help my back, I'll probably have to do it, but oh man, I have a bad experience from a house party. One of my buddies lined up 12 shots of tequila when I went to a house party when I was in my early 20s, and I drank like 9 of them in a row. He wanted me to drink all 12 of them in a row, and I got very, very sick. I didn't finish them, and I got sick in a recycling bin, and I haven't been able to stomach gin or tequila ever since. So I am, although I have had Patron and it's pretty good, but like most brands of tequila, I just can't possibly, no. I get a little bit ill just thinking about it right now, honestly speaking. So, we're keeping it off tequila. I can understand why people like tequila, I truly can, but nope, not for me anymore. I have a bad experience. I believe Jessica has a similar experience with screwdrivers, if I recall. Yep. So. Ah, yes. She had juiced up screwdrivers, which were basically the orange juice concentrate made with vodka. Yeah, talk about good stuff. I like vodka. My buddy that's coming over always likes to get at Tito's, which is a nice brand. I also like Belvedere, Grey Goose. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the cheap vodkas because cheap vodka is like cheap whiskey, basically barely tolerable. And I'm much more of a quality over quantity guy. There was a time in my life where I was a much more of a quantity over quality guy, and I was like all about the Fleischmann's life or the Kessler. But that time has long passed me, and I'm out of that. I'm having none of that anymore for sure. All right. Grab a few more life nodes, and then we'll be picking up the Twin Terrors next, probably. What's our crit chance at currently? Can't be very high. 18.5. It's not bad considering we don't have any crit chance on either sword at the moment. So, certainly could be worse, but off we go to Aspirant's Plaza. And that should work out pretty well. Yeah, I like vodka. I like gin, I like whiskey. I specifically like bourbon whiskey. Like the good old down south bourbon whiskey specifically, but big fan. Some years ago, was in a motorcycle club, put all the patches on the table, covered them all with tequila shots, told me I want to get it, gotta drink them all. Sounds like a nightmare to me, but hey. You know, we all like to do the old drinking games. I feel like I'm much more inclined to drink something I don't like if it's for a drinking game, as compared, although we used to play a game called King's Cup. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar, but basically it's done with there's a giant cup in the middle, and it's 4 to 8 players usually, and you pick cards. You shuffle up a deck, you pick cards, put it around the cup, and each card does something specific. Jehovah's Witness, no. And I used to, flashbacks incoming. And we used to get some pretty gnarly combinations, like any kind of soda mixed drink mixed with beer, wine, tequila rose. I had a friend who liked to drink tequila rose, which would curdle up quite nicely with that. But basically, every time you picked a certain card, you would pour a bit of your drink into the cup in the center. And the one who picked the last, I don't remember if it was ace or queen, but the one who picked the last of a certain card. Oh no. Well, base cam it is. Hey, just got kicked out. How's it going, guys? I'll continue explaining King's Cup. Each card you did a specific task, like guys would drink for certain cards, girls would drink for certain cards. There was one called Waterfall where you would basically all Cyclone. Is it at a reward? Yeah. Man, you gotta love when you go into there you go. You gotta love when you go into man. And when you go into the Aspirants Plaza and you get kicked out. It's always fun times, you know? At least it was before we got the golden key. That would have been a very, very painful thing. I'm going to try to get this before I end the stream tonight, but, well. Yeah, well, my PC is getting a little dated at this point, so I wouldn't necessarily say I have a good PC per se. It's not bad. But it's a few years old at this point. Played with a glass of milk. Oh, yeah. The worst one I ever tried. It was Captain and Coke, Tequila Rose, Dandelion Wine, which is, I don't know if they have that anywhere around here or anywhere besides around here, but basically it's a local like. Kind of a moonshine type scenario where it's a wine made of dandelions that is pretty popular in rural Wisconsin, and just beer. And it was pretty awful. The soda from the Captain and Coke made the Tequila Rose, which has dairy in it, curdle up, which made for the worst texture. It had like a foam on the top. It was very, well... Rum and Coke is fine, very drinkable. Yeah. I mean, yeah, soda and alcohol is usually a pretty okay drink. It's nothing, to write home about. And sometimes because it's so palatable, because of all the sugar in the soda, you end up having some pretty gnarly nights with it. But, it's a fine drink. Usually the only thing I can drink when I'm on keto, which is low carb, is a whiskey Diet Coke when I go out to bars, because they don't have Diet Tonic, so I can't get gin and Diet Tonic. For some reason, they never have Diet Tonic in bars, ever. Like, if I make my own gin and tonics, I can get a Diet Tonic and not have to worry about sugar. And it tastes the same because the, what's it called? Something with a Q. The active ingredient that gives tonic water the taste is like the sugar isn't what gives tonic water its taste. It's the something with a Q. I can never remember its name. But all right, he's using the sword. Try to stay out of his way. Make sure he's not going for one last hurrah here. I play POE on Xbox One, get kicked out sometimes, but not every day. To be honest, that's the first crash I've had in a very long time. So I don't think it's not like a thing that's been happening a lot, but it still happens every so often. At the beginning of the league, I was getting kicked all the time. Yeah, I don't go to bars much anymore. I'll go to house parties if I'm invited, but that kind of thing. But I'm not a huge fan of going to the bars. I've just kind of gotten sick of it. Plus, I live in a college town, and I am no longer single, so there's no incentive for me to be around all those college girls. When you're not actively looking to date, it just comes off as a little obnoxious. That's true. There are some less college-y bars, but it usually goes the other direction, though. It's like a bunch of, it's more middle-agey. I'm kind of in that weird, awkward stage where I'm not, your average middle-aged pool-playing, dart-playing guy, but I'm also not a college kid. Ah, yeah. The too many actions every time when you were using Cyclone, every time Shaper would freeze. Boy, that was fun times. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Yeah, it's hard to find a good bar for, kind of not middle-aged, but also not college-aged people. Especially in the town where we live in. There are a lot of bars. I'm sure I could find the scene if I wanted to. And it's not like I feel... That's true. Well, yeah. There's there's definitely bars that I could go to. I'm not feeling the bar scene. Although, to be fair, that's more of like a lounge than it is a... That's true. Good appetizers, though. Yeah. So there are options. I'm trying to limit my drinking now, but stuff keeps coming up. I keep getting invited to parties or having friends that I haven't seen in a long time come over. And yeah, it's been a fun summer, I guess. I'd probably be having a lot easier of a time losing weight if I wasn't drinking so much too, to be honest. I'm doing okay. You know, I lost like 20 pounds or so, 23 pounds. Yeah, something like that. We're bartenders. It's good to support them by going to the bar. That's true. One of the main reasons I used to go to the bars most recently is because my roommate was, or not my roommate, my neighbor, my downstairs neighbor was a bartender. She would also favor us with discount drinks and that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, we'd give her good tips and, you know, just hang out with her on slow nights and stuff. When I was 21, I also used to have... I literally lived like 10 feet from a bar because, you know, living where I live, it's hard to never be too far away from the bar. Yeah, there are even bars close to where we are now, even though we're more like out of the way of the town. That's fair. Oh, I thought I was gonna get slammed there. He raised up his sword, but luckily he teleported me instead. I'm like, I'm gonna die. What am I doing? Oh man, I almost killed myself right there. Alright, but we got it done. Got it done. And we will be beginning mapping next stream here. So I'm gonna get this Ascendancy. Get everything kind of sorted out here, and I am going to call it an evening. Alright, so let's grab the Aspect of Carnage. I don't know if I'm going to get Blitz. Maybe if we get really high crit chance, because Blitz degens your crit strike chance. So we'll have to see, but see if we can get a Cyclone enchant. Nope, Castle. Well, alright. Not good for every weekend, but when you take a long break, it sounds good again. That's true. You end up missing it. It seems like not a lot of fun when you do it all the time, but after, you know, a few months or whatever, a year or two of doing it, you get nostalgic for the good old times. But anyway, I am going to head out now, call it an evening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next stream tomorrow, we will be getting into maps, so if anybody has any questions about getting into map and mapping, tomorrow would be a good time to ask. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Check out my Patreon. You can also become a member. Got a new member today. Thank you so much. Super chats are always appreciated as well. Those are ways you can support the channel. Otherwise, yeah, just go watch some of my videos. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye!